This offer plus this specific ad campaign is absolutely crushing it right now. And in this video, I'm going to be revealing to you what it looks like, why this offer is crushing it through ads, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. And you're going to be able to see behind the scenes why I've been able to successfully replicate this again and again and again and again across the board, duplicating this and how we've scaled it to well over $10 million in sales just following this same exact structure. And by the end of this video, you're going to be able to see why this campaign is crushing it right now and how you can model it, reverse engineer, and apply it in your market, even though you could be in a totally different market. So let's begin by talking about, so what is this offer? You see, I'm going to head over to the whiteboard in a second, but the first thing we need to understand is that not all offers are scalable or workable on platforms like Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. Now, why? Why is that the case? Well, let's head over to this whiteboard here for a second, and before we dive straight into the numbers and showing you how it works, well, let's begin with first, what's an offer that is a good fit for platforms like Facebook and YouTube and Instagram? What is a good type of offer that is going to scale well? So, in order to first answer your question, we first need to understand, well, let's begin with the price point. Okay, now imagine that you have 1,000 people or 10,000 people visiting your site. And right now you sold a $50 product, which is what a lot of people advise. Like, oh, you got to sell this tripwire product, you got to get people coming to your funnel first. So imagine you sold this $50 product, and right now the conversion of this $50 product is 5% on cold traffic, which, by the way, is an amazing number. Okay, it's amazing. So based on this scenario, this would mean that in order to get 10,000 visits, now, it's going to be very common that the cost per click these days, well, depending on which country you are targeting, but let's say a cost per click is $1, okay? So this means that you would have spent $10,000 for 10,000 visits, and because you have 10,000 visits, I'm going to need the calculator here. As you guys can see, math is not my strong suit, but as you guys can see, based on this scenario, 10,000 visits multiplied by $50 multiplied by 5%, that would be $25,000 in sales. Now, is this a good scenario? It's an amazing scenario. In most cases, 5% on cold traffic is, I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's extremely tough. In most cases, it's about 3%. Okay, so this would be a pretty good scenario, but I'd like you to notice what happens if it was slightly different. Imagine if you still had 10,000 visits, and instead of $50, what you did instead was you had either one of these two things. Okay, imagine if you had a $30,000 offer. Okay, now what's going to happen? What you're going to realize is that you don't even need a 5% conversion. You need like 0.5%, right? 0.5% of conversions, and you would still be widely profitable. So what does this mean? If you were to do the math here again, it means that if we had 10,000 visits at a $30,000 price point through a high-ticket funnel or an application funnel or a phone call funnel, and if we multiplied that with 0.5%, okay? So what does this mean? It means that, let me do the math here because I'm getting $1.5 million and I want to be able to confirm if that's the case. So 10,000, let's do this together. This is more like math class. Okay, 10,000 visitors at 0.5%. So that would be 0.005. Okay, so that would be 50 sales. Okay, 50 sales multiplied by 30,000. Yes, it is indeed 1.5 million. Okay, so I wanted to check and make sure that my math is right here. Okay, so first of all, what does this tell you? It tells you that if this is 0.5%, spending $10,000 is going to get you $1.5 million. And if the conversion was not 0.5%, but 0.005%, so less that, this would still be $150,000. Okay, so now what does this mean? It means that, first of all, what if running profitable ad campaigns is not about not making mistakes and making sure that all of your stars are aligned, but rather still making it profitable even while making a ton of mistakes along the way? So how do you do that? Okay, number one is that you'll notice that if you have a high price point, a good back end as part of your business model, Facebook ads becomes a lot more forgiving. You don't need to have great, amazing, over-the-top conversions. Why? Because now you're now able to afford the cost per click, right? Even if it's $3 cost per click, $5 cost per click, $10 cost per click, you can still make it profitable. That's one, right? Number one is high ticket. And the second angle would be if you are charging them on some sort of recurring or retainer or subscription model, because even if, let's say now you're selling this $100, $97, $50 product, but you charge them per month, okay? So for example, let's say if it's $97 a month, which is a case study that I'm going to be revealing to you in a second, you're going to be able to see that even if you just break even on the front end, it is still going to be wildly profitable on the back end because there's a subscription model to it. Okay, so first things first. If you want to be able to scale offers well utilizing ads, try to think about how can I create something that's done with you or done for you so that I can justify a done for you, like you don't need to lift a finger, everything's done for you, right? Which is what I do as my agency offer, part of Legacy Mastermind. My high-level clients that pay me $30,000 a year, there are done-for-you components. Okay. Same thing for some of my offers where it's per month, it's a subscription-based. This is how, because of these type of offers, I'm able to be very aggressive with my ad spend, and that's why I can afford to spend millions of dollars a year on ads. Okay, that's number one. But with that said, there's a problem. Now, what is the problem? The problem is these type of offers are hard to sell on ads on the front end. So what does that mean? Okay, put it this way. So if you think about this, in theory, on paper, selling, a $30,000 offer, high ticket, $97 per month, sounds like a great idea, but there's a problem. The problem is that these type of offers may not necessarily do well on an ad. Why? It is because, and if you think about it, that's what most people try to do. Most people on social media try to sell the actual thing that they want to sell on an ad. So what does that look like? So imagine if I wanted to sell my agency service, right? Where we help people build out their funnels, their messaging, their presentation. And imagine I ran this ad to a cold audience. Now, what would this ad look like? It would look like, hey, this is Peng Joon here. I run an agency, and for $30,000, I would love to be able to help you build out your funnel, your pitch, your presentation, and close, and help you build out your funnel. Now, in most cases, if a person has never worked with me before, what do you think a person is going to feel? It will be like, who's this random dude that's appearing on my feed asking me for $30,000, right? So this is when it's not going to work, right? Same thing here for a recurring. If I wanted to start that relationship off on social media, and if a person doesn't know who I am, and they're scrolling on Facebook, they're scrolling, and then all of a sudden my face appears, and it says, hey, for $97 a month, I'm going to show you what's working right now, and let me show you, what are the type of ads that is converting, what type of funnels. Again, in most cases, what's going to happen? What's going to happen is that a person will be like, I'm not going to, give this guy $97 a month. I don't even know this guy. Okay? So, in other words, even though these offers are great, they're not great as the start of an ad. Okay, so that means what we need to do is to create a thing, and I would like you to write this down, okay? It would be to create the thing to sell the thing that you actually want to sell, okay? So what does this mean? So this means that if, let's say, I had a $30,000 offer, rather than promoting this $30,000 offer, I'm trying to think about, well, can I have some sort of do-it-yourself version that I could offer so that a person can start doing this at a much lower risk, right? Same thing, if I want to be able to sell that $30,000 offer, can I do an event? Maybe it's half day, maybe it's 1 day, maybe it's 2 days, so that I can start giving value and demonstrate that I can help my audience by actually helping them so that they are able to start getting clarity and insights, and maybe they're able to make better, more informed decisions, where there will be a percentage of people that would eventually want to work with you on the back end as your high ticket, right? So if I were to go back to that initial example, let me just head over to the screen and show you how that might look like. Let me just share my screen right now. So over here, this was the first example that I showed you. Okay, now if you take a look at the dynamics and the structure of this funnel, in the first million that it did, you're going to notice a few different things, okay? Like number one, this offer over here, you will see that this is a funnel where on the front end, you can see, conversions 3.57%. This is for a low ticket item. And there's about 15,000 people that has taken me up on this offer. Now on the one-time offer, there's two one-time offers, right? There's basically just two upsells over here. And this upsell over here is actually recurring, the second one-time offer that 1,500 people has taken me up on. So if you take a look at this, this is actually a $97 per month subscription. Now, so what is this $97 subscription offer? It is basically an offer for a person to discover what's working right now. Now, this offer over here on what's working right now, basically every single month I get on a call, I reveal my best performing ads, my top converting email titles, different tools that I'm utilizing, systems and processes, and basically just under the hood of the funnel of the month, ad of the month, different campaigns that can be applied and implemented, that can be rolled out immediately. So the whole goal of this is to get somebody to discover what's working right now through this call and do it together with me. Now, here's the crazy thing, okay? If I ran an ad to this page right here that you guys are seeing, which is what's working right now, to get a $97 per month subscriber, it can cost me from about $200 to $300, okay? To get somebody not just into a $97 per month, but rather a $97 free trial. So to get somebody to try us out, it can cost us about $200. So if you think about this, this is the reason why many companies and businesses require funding. Why do they require funding and angel investors? It is because for most businesses require money to acquire a user, right? And most businesses will lose money up front and recover it back over a few months or maybe over a year. And that's why they require people to pump in money to be able to sustain that initial bleed. So, however, this is where you want to be able to do things differently. You see, rather than running ads to this offer, because that's when it's not scalable, because I'm going to be paying $200+ to acquire a free trial user, right? And I don't want to be giving up a percentage of my business so that angel investors come in, and I don't want to be reporting to these shareholders. So what do? Instead, I created a thing to sell the thing that I'm selling. So this over here is where a person can come in, this low ticket by the way, right? It's just $7. And you will see that on top over here, it says where it says average cart value. Take a look at this. This means that not including the subscription on the back end, every person that comes through this funnel is worth $81. Okay? Now, obviously, first of all, there are a lot of funnel steps, in between over here. But the main ones, as you guys can see, is over here, right? The first 3 steps, okay? Now, these first 3 steps, what does it tell you? You see, if I wanted to get 1,500 trials in here, and if I were to pay, $200 per trial, right? How much is that? 1,550. Let me just bring out my calculator here again. If I were to multiply this by $200, and that's being conservative. In some cases, it can cost more. This would cost me $310,000 in ads, okay? However, notice now, the difference is I'm now acquiring somebody for free coming in, and now through the upsell and through the back end and eventually high ticket, this is all pure profit. And this is why I replicate this same model here again and again and again and again. So if you think about this, let me just look at you guys for a second. So understand that this can be in many different type of modalities, okay? So for example, this could be in the form of my books, right? My books are super low ticket. A person comes in and guess what? When somebody buys my book, I don't make money. I barely break even on it. But it is the high ticket and the back end that is profitable. Same thing here. It could be for virtual events. What if you could do a virtual event that's low ticket that makes it relatively easy, or somebody come in so that you can demonstrate what it is that you do, that you can add value to them, so that at the end of it all, guess what? A small percentage might want to apply to work together with you, whether it's getting on a strategy call first initially, right? But ultimately, what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to sell high ticket and recurring. And while high ticket and recurring is amazing, in most cases, you can't run ads direct to the high ticket offer or to the recurring, because that's when you're going to be bleeding money upfront. Now, there are some instances that is an exception to this. This could be when you are running to an application funnel or high ticket funnel to get on a phone call first, right? Now, there are other videos that I talk about that covers that process. But if you want to be able to have an offer together with an ad that is highly scalable, that is what you want to do. You want to be able to create an offer, which could be the thing that sells the thing that you really want to sell, and make sure you run ads to that thing that is low risk and have your high ticket or recurring on the back end. And that is what is required if you want to not just survive but thrive in the marketplace today. Hey, let me know in the comments below what is your biggest takeaway and how you can apply this. One of the things that we constantly do is we pick 1 to 3 different winners for our next product, event, live training. So if you want to be in the running, do that. Just let me know in the comments below, and we'll be doing our next draw real soon. And congratulations to the last few winners that when we did the last draw. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to this channel for more videos just like this one. And if you truly want to get good at running ads and creating offers, be sure to binge watch this entire playlist of different coaching calls that I've worked with clients, so that it can give you clarity on what you could be doing better as well.